How long ago did you start writing?
I first got the idea for the Troy character sitting on the beach in Virginia Beach at the end of my summer semester at UVA. I finished my Spanish class, jumped in the car, went straight to the beach, sat on the beach, and I got the idea for the character that is Troy Can. I got a lot of consultation from some of the people in this room might know. It's Troy Best. He's not here. He's thoroughly invited. He would have been, a guest of honor, seeing as how he's a feature character. But maybe he'll make it to dinner. We're having dinner afterwards if anyone wants to come. So the idea for Troy Can, the man who dubs himself a different species than humankind, Troy is an interesting character in this book. You'll read all about him. He is a representation of the mythos behind a person in the world. You can look up his name is Bobaji. Bobaji is a man who apparently, or a body, he's a consciousness person. He's a person. But he lives in the mountains of Himalayas, and if you go looking for Babaji, you might just find him. But he's like 2,000 years old, and he can actually make matter happen or not happen. But you understand, these are myths. You can look up Babaji on your own. Say what you know. There are many realities, and we all create our own, so it's okay.
Baba?
Bobaji.
Oh.
So B-A-B-A-G-I, maybe? Yeah, is that right?
Yeah.
Babaji. B-A-B-A-G-I. Probably, or J-I. You can look him up. If you go looking for him, all of a sudden, he will be all around. He's cool. No, it's a good thing. It's like, he's very Krishna-esque. If you know anything about Krishna, that's good stuff. But anyway, Troy's powers in this book are representative of the person in reality that is known as Babaji. And, this book is purely fictional. This is a fiction book. This is modern fiction as it goes. Nothing in the book is actually, it's funny though, everything in the book is a composition of actually non-fiction realities that certain people in the world carry. That is the point. See, it may be fiction. I didn't write it anything. I wasn't making transcripts. It's not like it's actually happened anywhere. It's not like I know of anyone that can do that, But I know people that really believe that there are people who can. You know what I mean? Talking to one of them, actually. I know that you will find Babaji if you go to the Himalayas and look for him. But you have to really look. You might not know what you'll find.
Okay, so when you write,
okay, yes,
where were you?
I did not know the book would end. What time of day do I write?
Yeah, I want to have a picture.
Oh,
I'm going to read the book. I want to have a picture of where you were when you were doing it.
Okay, so I started out first the girth, the for the earth part. This is a good question. You're really good. The yin and the yang. Okay, the for the earth, like it says, for the earth, the beginnings, the predicate, the beats part is very heavy. The latter part is its converse. It's rather lighter in frequency and talks about much it blows, it goes into the cosmos in a way, very much so. So, the beginning part, I actually started writing when I was working as a carpenter, as it turned out. I did not know how the book would end. I did not know how it was going to go. I just got I had developed this idea of a character. I started working with Troy, and suddenly I started getting concepts of this character becoming real, and I was like, man, I can create this character now because I have a model for him that's almost to a T. It was really crazy. Anyway, so very extreme. Extreme. If you're gonna have a lead character in a book, he's gonna have to be extreme. Troy is extreme. I love him to death. Wish he was here so you could have heard me say that. Anyway, so the whole first part, up until chapter 19, when I just read you, everything before chapter 19 was written in the morning before I went to work. Drinking Indian-style chai tea that I made myself on the stove in the morning ritual, and just hung out for about an hour before I went to work as a carpenter, learning the trade of carpentry. We got laid off from carpentry work in May. I went to California on a job as a carpenter to build a barn. Out there, I wrote the last 3 stories, 19, 20, and 21, not knowing, or parts, 19 and 20, part 2. Anyway. I did not know those were going to come to me the way they did. They kind of just came. I was living a very kind of hermetic lifestyle. I was alone at night in a barn I was building in the middle of the woods, in the middle of the mountains with a generator and a laptop. And those stories just came. When you read the last three, those three chunks, the Spectral Knight and the Great-Hearted Giver, those three came in those nights. I wrote those at night, in the middle of the night after working as a carpenter building a barn, just sitting there, the generator and my laptop, and it was good. It was wild times.
So do you think that Troy exists?
Do I think that Troy exists?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Babaji, he can do what Troy does. And that's the representation of that, you know. Yeah, you find he lives in the Himalayan mountains. Right. He was indoctrinated or accepted into by Krishna himself, and that's the story of Babaji. But Troy doesn't talk anything about that. Troy is just a character in the book, and you'll read all about him. You'll get to know him because he's the only one that gets just straight-on questions asked. His story is called The Interview, and it's like Babaji sitting down and being interviewed by Fox. So you got Troy Can gets interviewed by Fox for the world, and he likes the Kogi Indian message a lot, as do I, as does Sawwet.org.
Yeah, what is that?
Sawwet.org?
Yeah, I want to know about that too.
Okay, Sawwet.org.
And I gotta go, I'm sorry.
Thank you so much for being here, man.
I'll catch up with you. Good to see everybody.
Peace, dude.
Peace.
Preston, man, thank you. The hat you made my dad is awesome.
Thank you.
If you want a really, really cool, originally designed hat, man, that guy, he can really paint. It's really cool. He's doing some cool stuff now. I'm happy for him. Okay, Sawwet.org. Thank you for coming.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Sawwet-CEPA, the Civic Environmental Protection Agency, is an information springboard that Troy and I created.
Troy Vestal?
Yeah. And
So you made a website?
yeah, and basically it promotes stewardship.
Okay.
It promotes the Kogi message of stewardship, and originally it was really just a springboard for us, people to become aware of us as consultants on sustainability, on living earth awareness, concepts and physics, things you can, mental ways you conceptualize your life that change the economic model from a linear one to a cyclic one, when it feeds back into itself as opposed to just in and out and never seen again. Stuff like that. From there, it's grown a lot. Troy's creating on his own. You know, he's doing his own thing. It's cool. We go our own ways. I really don't see too much of him nowadays, but God bless him. I hope he's doing well. I'm sure he is.
So there's a Troy that's a real person, and then there's this other Troy, right?
There is a Troy that is a very real person.
But there's two, right?
Troy Can in this book, not real. Or, well, yeah, I believe in Babaji, actually. No,
right,
so, yeah,
right.
Yeah.
We clarified that.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But there is also another person
Troy.
named Troy.
He's from Rappahannock.
You can see him like me, right?
Yeah, he's supposed to be here. If you go to dinner tonight, maybe you'll see him.
I'm just making sure. I haven't seen you.
Here, I'm gonna give you some. I'm gonna give you some. This is okay. So this is part 2. Okay. Part 2. It's very short. It's a vignette. This is a little bit of Troy for you.
Okay.
Together is nothing like separation. Moments together stay that way in my memory and in my heart. Everything else spins off continually. Where it goes is not the question. Suffice to say that it goes. Judith was really good about that, maintaining solidarity alongside another. She could build a cohesive whole from constituent parts. Plus, she had a good attitude. That helped. They say I look like Jefferson, with strong, piercing eyes that when caught from across a room or a court or a garden have set some hearts alive. Accompanied by a sharp tongue equipped for duel or lashing, I am constantly aching with the desire to reach out and touch the hand, my brother, my sister, anyone. Thirst quenched only when saturated. Their eyes call out they can bear no more. They are hurting, left standing, no audience, no ears. They've all gone for the word too strong, the beer too dark, my eyes too bright, the message too much. None can stand, no one waits. Misery always has company, not the truth, though. Wisdom is lonely, its road is long. In that way it is similar to truth. Both follow paths that are lonely. That's Troy for you. There's a lot of Troy in here, and there's a lot of Ben Can. You're going to meet the poet. You'll see every poem in here is marked Ben Can. who's a character in this book. You're going to meet him as an actual character. There's a story behind Ben Can, too, if you want to know about who Ben Can is. The creation of Ben Can. Because Ben Can is the very first Can of the Can family. Like, Heather and I are the first living members that represented the Can family in the world. And everyone in this room can be one too if you want to be.
Yes, you can.
It's like that. It's like big.
When did you learn the "I can do it" attitude?
Oh, sure. Either which way, but the point is that, who knows? Maybe I already see you as Cans. That's all there is. Anyhow, Ben Can. How I got the name Martin Can? And it says Martin Can here. It doesn't say Adam Disbrow on the front of this book. A lot of people know Adam Disbrow pretty well. That's me. That's the other. That's hey guys. Martin Can is like a safety net. I like Martin Can a lot. I sat down at a reading. It wasn't a reading. I sat at a friend's house, and it was a rainy day with Troy. And I was introduced to a good friend of mine named Kim Isaacs, who couldn't be here today. I suppose she had a hard time getting out of the house because she has a broken arm, which sucks. But anyway, we wish Kim well and that her recovery is quick and full. Anyway, sat down at Kim's house. It was raining. We couldn't really work because it was raining. We're carpenters, so she pulled out some Mayan cards and she said, "Pick a card out of the thing." So I picked a card, and Troy picked a card. I picked the card Ben. Troy picked the card Can, K-A-N. She then read us what both those cards mean, and where we were centered in for those days in that day. My card Ben is like the Skywalker cards. It's the card of the hero, the virtuous hero. That's it. Skywalker actually is. Look up, conceptualize what Skywalker. That's the whole thing. Can is the seed of white light virtue. It's the beginning of all things new and are white light virtuous. Golden, good, purity. So the name Ben Can became, and I was like, okay, Ben Can. That's going to be my pen name. It's beautiful. So then I started rolling along. I was like, yeah, that's cool. I'll be Ben Can. But I realized that very quickly, actually, almost instantaneously, that I couldn't do that because Ben Can is too much like Yoda. Ben Can. You'll read about Ben Can. Ben Can. He's as balanced and in between as they come, which makes him super extreme. He is the cutting edge of something, which means I couldn't be him. He's a character. He's the poet. He's the expressor. He's the first person to forsake all other things and just be Can. Ben Can. And I am Martin Can. Martin is my middle name. That's it. So I wish you a great joy in discovering Ben Can, because he is someone else, and he is something. I read to a group of about 30 in California from the manuscript that I had finished on the mountain building that barn, and not everyone liked Ben, and which is the point. There are going to be people. In fact, it's going to be almost like, at the very least, a third of people, all readers in the world, I would say, just from that 30 that I first did my assessment on, about 1/3 will be like, oh, I don't like that guy, man. Whoa, what's going on with him? He's trying to tell me what to do or something. Yeah. That's why I'm not Ben Can.
How'd you do that assessment?
How did I do that assessment?
Yeah, I want
by
to know
asking
too
them.
much.
Because one guy was like, man, I don't like that guy. And I was like, yeah, not everybody is. And some people, and I got from the crowd about, yeah, I like him, I don't like him so much. Yeah, whatever. So it was actually like voices sitting in front of me. It's like, it's like the crowdometer.
Yeah.
So cool. I thank you all so much for being here. We have awesome treats, man. I'm going to have...
Yeah, these are delicious.
And I will sign any book you want me to sign.
Anyone?
Everyone. Every single one. See.
Way to go, Adam. All right.
Wah wah. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
I was rock climbing the other day.